Hey there! This little slideshow should get you into manual mode. I want you to view the slideshow while you're holding your camera. Your camera needs to be on and you need to have a memory card in it so that if you take a picture, you can see the picture at the back. Cameras have different types of knobs and dials to be able to get you into the different modes you have. A lot of the cameras will have dials that look a little bit like this picture here, but some of them will have a little screen. My screen is on the right hand side. Next to my screen I have two dials, one on the front of the camera and one on the back. I actually have a Nikon camera and some other cameras may be slightly different. Now if you have the dial with M on it, turn it until it gets to the M. If you have the screen, you may find that you have a mode button. If you press the mode button and dial or turn one of the dials, mine is the one at the back, you should start to see the modes change. Change it until you see an M. Now if your camera is different and it doesn't fit either one of these, go to your manual and it will tell you how to put your camera into manual mode. Some cameras are not full manual. They may have an M, but they're only partially manual, and that gives you a little bit more control than P, but still not as much as a digital SLR. That little control is great. Use it. Once you have your camera into manual mode, and even before, it will have a light meter on it. I can see my meter when I look through my eyepiece. I can only see it if I have to press the shutter button and then it goes away. It's right at the bottom under where you would see the picture, or where I see the picture. It actually lights up yellow. The other meter that I can use is right at the back of my camera and it shows up if I press the info button. Now some cameras have an info button, but some of them don't. You need to check your camera to see if you have that button. If it is, it's great to see the meter. If not, you can see it by just looking through the eyepiece and after pressing your shutter button. Your meter looks like almost like a series of dots or a bar. The one in the middle may be slightly bigger, or it may be a 0. Also on your light meter you will see the shutter speed and the aperture. So it might look like 200 on one side and f5.6 on the other side. The object is, at this point in time, we'll look at it differently a little bit later on, but right now the object is to get the exact amount of light hitting your sensor. When you put your camera into program mode or auto mode, or even aperture priority or shutter priority, it's great at doing this for you. The technology blows my mind. I just can't believe that the technology is so great at doing this. But you have to now set your dials so that the exact amount of light is hitting your sensor. And if you look, you will see, if you move your camera, you will start to see that it changes. The exact amount of light when you face in one direction, it may not be the exact amount of light when you face another direction. So when you're in manual mode, you need to be watching this all the time and you need to keep changing it. Okay, let's see how we do it. When you look through, you may see your meter, but either to the right of your meter or the left of your meter, you will have darker dots or spots that turn dark on the right hand side or the left hand side of the middle. Once you see those spots, you know that you're either getting too much light or not enough light. If your spots are to the right, you will see a little minus sign. It means not enough light. If your spots are to the left, you will see a little plus sign and you know you're getting too much light. You need to change your dials. Now on my camera the dials are on the right hand side. As I'm holding the camera with my right hand, I can use my thumb to change one and my index finger to change the other. You need to find out where they are on your camera. It should be in a very, very obvious place, probably the same kind of place that it is on mine. On my camera, when I dial the one on the back, it changes one of them. When I dial the one on the front, it changes the other. And the object is to change the two of them until you have no spots on either side of the middle. You look at it and you see the meter there, and there are no spots to the right, or no dark patches, and no dark patches to the left. As you move your camera, you'll start to see that you do get those spots on either side, because the light is not always the same. You'll also see it change when the sun goes behind a cloud, or even if someone walks in front of your camera, you'll start to see it change. If you find it difficult to get that done, and if you find that no matter how much you're changing your dials, the spots just aren't moving, they're either all to the left is filled or all to the right, what I want you to do is put your camera in program mode, that would be P, and look to see what the shutter speed and the f-stop is at the top of your screen. Change it back into manual once you've seen them, and try to get those same, like if for instance if it's shutter speed 200 and if it's f-stop f11, then I want you to fiddle with start changing your one of your dials, and whichever one changes, keep changing it until it gets to the shutter speed gets to 200 or the f-stop gets to f11. And then once it gets close, you'll start seeing the dots move and you'll start to see what I'm talking about. Okay, once you figure that out, play with it. You can't learn photography by watching a video or listening to me. So what I want you to do, once you've figured out your meter, or once you think you've figured it out and you're starting to get the hang of it, I want you to either go outside, or I want you to point your camera at a light, something bright, and start taking pictures in manual mode. And just look at the back of your screen to see what you're getting. You should start to see that you're getting the hang of it. And once you feel a little bit more comfortable with it, I want you to go outside and start taking pictures. The assignment is your backyard, the interesting aspects of your backyard. And when you start getting those pictures, I want you to choose 4 of your best and post them into the photo bucket. Remember, you're not going to get this by listening to me. You're going to get it by trying it for yourself. Happy shooting. Bye.